Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm honored to be connecting in with you as we talk with another amazing expert and author as she pulls back the curtain and really shares her journey, her experience of what it was like to bring her book forward from that idea to reality, and what the journey was like of becoming a best-selling author. And in fact, she became a #1 international best-selling author multiple times over. So I'm very excited to talk with her today. And she is an expert in raising confident children. That's something she's very, very passionate about. She has all kinds of expertise in helping them in their speaking skills, starting at a very, very young age. And that can help them in so many different ways with their confidence. And as they start to speak, being able to use a microphone and being able to stand up powerfully and confidently as they're expressing and sharing who they are and their voice to any situation. And so I'm really excited to have her joining us today. She was just sharing that earlier today she was on another show that was shared throughout a really nice reach. So we're excited that she is able to spend some time with us today because she is in demand. She's an in-demand speaker and expert and influencer, particularly in this space. So very excited to have her joining us. But I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today. And to do that, it's really, really important that you choose to be fully present. Not just kind of half listening, but fully present. Take a moment to slow down. Take a breath. A little bit more in and then out. Taking that breath to become fully present helps us slow down a little bit, brings oxygen to every cell in our body. It brings in what serves, releases what no longer serves, creating room and space for you to be poured into. I know our listeners are busy. I know that you are so good at doing and accomplishing so much. And I want to give you this time. This is a time for you that you get to be still. You get to be poured into so that as you go back out into the world, you're doing so from a full place of being nourished, of taking a moment to slow down, to pause, to breathe, to be poured into so that you can continue to do all that you're called to do and bring forward all that you're called to bring forward. And in fact, I encourage you to get a piece of paper, a pen, be ready to take some notes. We're going to have amazing wisdom and insight shared from our guest, and I want you to be able to capture it. So often we go, yeah. I'll remember that. I'll get to that. And then we move on to the next shiny thing. So I encourage you, take a moment, really take in what serves, write down those thoughts, some of what she's sharing and some of what's being spoken within you when you stop and listen to that still small voice. Sometimes we can't hear it because we're so busy moving and doing. So I encourage you to slow down, be ready to receive, be ready to listen in and take those notes, take those ideas down that are going to serve you and help you bring your message forward, help you bring your book forward, help you bring the wisdom, insight, and information you're called to bring to the world to be able to do that powerfully and effectively. Because our guest is an expert in doing that. She has touched so many lives. I'm so excited to introduce her to you. So let's take one more breath. Ready to receive as I introduce Rennu to you. And I want you to know this is just a highlight, what I'm about to share with you, but I encourage you to get to know her, go deeper. But let me share so you have a little bit of perspective of who she is and what she can share with us today. So Rennu Dhillon has been featured on many documentaries, including CNN, TV5, Cron 4, and Sony TV Asia. She is a visionary in early education. She is the founder of Genius Kids Incorporated that has multiple, I want to use the right term, multiple franchises that have been spread across centers across Northern California. She has developed over 3,000 educational learning programs. She holds a bachelor's of science degree in pharmacy, a doctorate in natural sciences, and several certifications in dyslexia, learning disabilities, and autism. Her awards, she has numerous awards. I just wanted to highlight one of them. In 2011, she was the most enterprising woman entrepreneur of the year. She's an in-demand MC, popular radio show host, motivational speaker, and producer of several local, national, and global events, and international best-selling author, #1 international best-selling author. And she's passionate about raising confident children. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Rennu Dhillon to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Thank you. You made my day. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us. Excited to open up our conversation. I'd love for you to share, why is this work that you do, helping children in all these different ways, why is that personally so important to you?
I never thought, many, many years ago when I was a kid, if you'd asked me if I was ever going to be an educator, I would have said no, because I was a very naughty student myself in the class, and I know I gave my teacher the runaround all day long. But I think for me, it is the most gratifying experience that I've ever gone through. I mean, every day I get messages from parents, from students, and thanks to social media with Facebook, especially my students who track me down and they thank me. And one thing that comes out of that big thank you is always, thank you for teaching me how to speak. Thank you for teaching me how to be confident. And then they'll share with me their journey, where they've been. And if somebody can remember you after sometimes 18 years and they can look up their first teacher, then I know that I've done something right.
That's so powerful and beautiful. Absolutely. And what a confirmation, right, of the work that you do, and that they are tracking you down and sharing those personal success stories and how you impacted their life. And I know that then they in turn get to impact others. And so you have this
Correct.
Beautiful, global influence that you're creating by serving children in this way and supporting them and empowering them. And I know that led to you wanting to put a book together to help parents, to help them raise confident children. Do you mind sharing a little bit about why you felt led to do that, and why do it in a book format?
So, in the last 20 years, I've been in childcare 20 years now, officially, prior to, of course, being a parent coach for my own children. And in the last 20 years, having worked with so many children, different age groups, different learning abilities, disabilities, whatever you want to call it, I really felt that I had a lot of information to share. And also in the last 20 years, having, written over 3,000 lessons, I really felt that, I get questions from parents all the time. And I thought, well, why not put down my thoughts on pen and paper? And why don't I make these available in a simple format? Because a lot of parents, for some reason, think that it is the job of a teacher to instill confidence in their children or teach them public speaking. A lot of parents treat public speaking as a very formal class. But in actual fact, it's not. I wanted to remind parents that public speaking doesn't mean you have to be on stage. Public speaking is as soon as you're communicating with somebody else other than yourself. You're communicating. It's just another formal way of saying public speaking. So I really wanted to be able to put together a simple recipe. Just like if you want to bake a cake, you pick up a cookbook and you look up your recipes. You need help. I want this to be a quick reference where a parent says, well, what can I do with my child today at home to maybe teach them how to be compassionate, teach them how to have courage. I wanted to put that all together in a very simple format, a format that would be easy to understand, a format that you don't need to have another dictionary to look up what I've written because you don't understand what I've written, or you don't need anyone to translate it. So just really wanted to just have a version of whatever, all the thought to my experiences within my own head available now for parents to just be able to easy reach, bedside, keep it next to your bed, on the dining table, wherever you want to be, and and show you that it's so easy to build confidence in the child, and you don't need, to be paying thousands of dollars for this. You can do it yourself because you are, as a parent, the first educator and their coach, and hopefully their lifetime coach. That was a goal.
So, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I feel like your book is not only easy to read and to understand and to start to implement, it was fun too. I think there were activities, creative things that can be done that I never would have thought of doing. And yet they were fun, they were engaging, they were easy to do and start to weave into the conversation or into activities. So I think your book is brilliant. I know it was very well received. It became a #1 international bestseller in 4 countries, 26 categories, and #1 in 4 of them. So very well received. And that was just at the start, like the beginning of the ripple out of the book, which is just so powerful. And as you saw that happen and you got to experience it, was there something that surprised you in bringing the book forward?
What surprised me was that it was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, but that's only because of you, Rebecca. I would have never done this had I not met you, seriously and honestly.
Thank you.
I think, they always say there has to be a right time and a right place. And when I met you through the first book, the contribution I made for the first book, I watched the whole process, and then I said to myself, well, maybe I can do this, but I can't do this alone. And even though I'd seen you take the first book through the steps with 17 other authors, I really felt that this is not something I can do on my own. And I am a believer that I should do what I know best and leave the rest to the person who knows the best. So I know that I had the information to put down on paper and pen, but I didn't know how to get the message out to the world, and I knew you would do it for me. So you made it really simple. So it was, I was surprised. I wish I'd met you 20 years ago. We've written this book 20 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago.
Well, thank you. It was an honor and a pleasure to bring your book forward, and I'm glad that was simple and step by step, that you were able to really stay in your expertise and be supported to bring your book forward, because that's our goal. So I'm glad that was your experience and to have it so powerfully received. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break, and as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about, are you remembering to get support on the journey? Are you remembering to look for help to bring your book forward? It's not a solo journey. You don't need to do it on your own, and you can stay in your place of expertise and get support in bringing it forward. You don't have to figure it all out on your own. And I want you to think about, how are you instilling confidence in upcoming generations? They can be in your own children. It could be in nieces and nephews. It could be those that you have interaction with. Is that something you're remembering to build into how you are showing up, how you are choosing to be in those interactions? So we look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
A Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Stimulating talk
gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
all the time. The #1 internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you had an opportunity to stop, pause, and really think about what Rennu is sharing and think about, are you stepping into that place of building confidence and purposely building some of the softer skills into your children or into those that you influence to the future generations? Are you remembering to be mindful and purposeful in that? Because we do have influence and we have an opportunity to step into that place. And so I want to circle back to some of how you work with, and I used the term earlier in our earlier segment about a parent coach. Can you explain what a parent coach is?
Absolutely. Thanks for that question. The whole premise of the book is how to be a parent coach. And what I mean by that is, as parents, and even if you're not a parent and you're maybe a godmother or godfather, or you just are supportive of raising someone else's child, or maybe someone that you know in your family, or anyone that you mentor, many times we think that we have to, the old style of raising children, at least from the way I was, I don't want to disclose my age, but 60 years ago when I was being raised, the whole concept was, a parent kind of controls what you do. And why do we parents control? Is because we want the best for our child. We want our kids to be safe. We want to make sure they eat well, grow well, do the right thing in school. And this is the reason why we become sometimes too overprotective. Now, there are many different ways of parenting styles, and I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't want to get into that. I address some of them briefly in my book, just briefly. And sometimes people have a combination, or maybe two parents will have different styles. But what I feel is we have to change with time. Just like right now, everybody's adjusting to a new norm of life because of COVID. Nobody ever thought we were going to have to live like this. If you had asked us this question last year, we would have said not possible. So just like we make those adjustments, we have to do the same thing when we're raising our children. And Rebecca, in my personal opinion, we have to raise resilient children. We have to. This world is full of the unknowns. Yes. And there's just too many, if you start painting only a rosy picture for your child, or you raise your child to think that everything's just going to be okay and that there's nothing, a failure doesn't exist, or when you fail, it's terrible. If you start teaching them that kind of perspective, or you can control them to the point where you make all their decisions, they will never be able to walk on their own. And my whole goal of this book is that parents need to understand that we need to sometimes step back and become a life coach. Just like we have these life coaches that adults go to. You can be your child's life coach from the time that they're born. Coach them. And my book addresses simple techniques of how to be able to coach your child and instill what I refer to as the 13 C's, soft skills, to help your child achieve self-control of their own life. Because it's very important that sometimes our children are going to want to do things that maybe we didn't want them to do, or maybe they're going to pursue paths or careers that we didn't want them to do. That's okay. It's okay. But as long as you can guide them, and if you can build this relationship of communication with your child, this relationship will remain forever. it's never going to end, because once you establish that trusting relationship, it's like you and I. You've helped me through this journey. You held my hand. You taught me a lot of things that I'm able to maybe do on my own. But I know now I went through this journey with you, but you may help me make my own decisions. I chose my own cover, but you guided me. Yes, you can do this, but how about you do this? Now I'm able to continue on this journey, but I know that I have Rebecca to go to, but Rebecca's not going to control me. Same thing as parents. We have to do this with our kids. You guide them, but if they have to fall a little bit, it's okay, and let them understand falling is all right. It's okay. It's all right, because you need to learn to lift yourself up. And that's what this book is about. Let's develop a coaching style of becoming a life coach for our child, where you can build this open communication for the rest of their life. It will become a very beautiful relationship.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. I love those examples. I love how you're building that trust. And I also think as I was reading your book and experiencing your book and watching it unfold, the things that you teach, I felt like also had an opportunity to go deeper in those areas of myself. And I think that's an opportunity in your book as well, that some of these things maybe we haven't thought about resilience, or we haven't thought about confidence, or some of these other things, and to be able to explore them a little bit in ourselves while we're lifting up and supporting others, I think is really, really powerful. And especially during the time that we are facing globally with the pandemic, with all the things that we are facing, there's an opportunity to go deep. There's an opportunity to talk about these things in a way that can encourage, that can give real information, but do so in a way that can uplift and build that resilience. And I think it's a much kinder way to learn that with from a young age up to learn about resilience, learn that it's okay to fall and get up again in a safer environment with your family than to suddenly be thrust out in the world and fall and not know that you can get up again. Anything you'd like to add to that?
So, and I felt the timing was perfect this year because of the pandemic. Now, many parents, we have to stay home, right? Why don't you make the most of that time with your child? And another thing I noticed is that, Rebecca, if you ask parents, what are the different activities you do with your children? And they list everything from karate, music, swimming, extra math, extra science. But public speaking will very rarely be there, and it only starts to touch the surface when they get to high school. You start talking about speech and debate. I'm not talking about speech and debate. I'm just talking about your basic communication skills. How do you win with words? How do you express your feelings effectively? And how do you understand other people as well to make them understand how you feel? And this is the best time. You're at home with your children. Find the time to build this relationship with them. Because it's so critical now because we are relying on Zoom and telephone calls to communicate now. It's even more so now that you learn to build confidence on a camera. You've never had a camera so close to you before. So those public speaking. Even if somebody wants to be a motivational speaker and you imagine yourself in a room with thousands of people on the stage, that's probably not going to happen for a long time now. So why don't you learn to equip your child to have those skills to be able to do it via Zoom or, virtually now. Build your child's confidence virtually. They need that. Because now in the classrooms, you can raise your hand up in a classroom and say, hey, I need to tell you an answer, but what about on the other side of the camera? How do you get your teacher's attention? This is the time to do it.
So powerful. And I love how you see the opportunity to up-level skills and experience in these times that we are in, and how classes are being run so dramatically differently than they were pre-pandemic. And so here's an opportunity where we can learn in a new environment, and we can build confidence, and we can build those skills and that flexibility and resilience in it, and being able to lean in versus you kind of lean out and step back. You can actually use this time as a powerful growing and learning opportunity. So do you mind, I know we've been talking about your book, and we've been talking about that you designed your cover. So two things I would love for you to share, what the official title of your book is and where can people get it?
So the official title of the book is Raise Confident Children, Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Leaders, and it is available on Amazon. And I think now I have earned the search where if you type that in, even with my name, it'll come up. I'm in the search now.
Perfect. That's what we want.
And it's available on Amazon. Pretty much, I think, worldwide, or at least in most countries, it is available. And I definitely want to mention to anyone that's local that if you really would love to have a signed copy of a book, if you get it, you can always message me, and I'm happy to meet you with my mask on. And you can give me, I'll wear my gloves and sign your book for you.
Aw.
So,
beautiful.
You're local here in the Bay Area, Northern California Bay Area. Yeah.
Perfect. And would you mind describing your cover? I'd love for people to have a picture in their head of what it looks like, and share a little bit about why you designed it the way you did.
So I am a very proud grandma and of two adorable grandkids, and going to be a third one on the way. We're having a little coronial baby now, so I'm really excited. And my book, it's one thing when you're teaching other children. So now my grandkids have been coming to my school, of course, before the pandemic. And they have been exposed to my curriculum of public speaking and leadership. And it's amazing to see that they look for microphones. I mean, they want to talk to me sometimes. Even if I'm sitting across from them, they want to talk to me on the microphone. So I thought, why not feature the life of my life, which is my two, Gia and Veer. So I actually had a little photo shoot in my studio, but I was hoping to have my grandson on this book and have my granddaughter on the next one because he's the elder one, but he chose not to be very cooperative that day, so little Gia made the cover and he went on the back cover, and I had a little chat with him now that hopefully next book you will be on the cover if you are in a better mood. But but I wanted to feature both of them because, again, for me it was very important that when they grow up, and, he might ask me, how come I wasn't on the cover, Grandma? I'm going to say, well, here's a video of what you were doing in the studio that day. So now you know what you should take the cover. But I have little Gia, and she just took the microphone. We were sitting and we were taking pictures, and she just grabbed the microphone, and she was just talking into it, and we did a candid shot, and it just seemed the most perfect shot. And also, I really feel that I'm just very biased to empowering women, Rebecca, and I just thought, what better way than to start them young? We have to remember that women are this world. We create life. So I wanted to have little Gia. Then she won the show. She's now on the cover with a little microphone in her hand, and she is the Raise Confident Children. And she's very excited now. When she looks at the book, she keeps saying, that's me. And I said, it is you.
I was wondering what her response was when she would see it. Okay, beautiful.
And then we kind of went with a nice beige neutral color in the book. I love it. I mean, I just absolutely love the cover of my book. So.
I'm glad. I think that's so important because it's your book and it's housing your information, your content, bringing forward. I think it's really important that authors and you feel proud of it and feel really good about how it looks and feels, and that it really represents what you're wanting to represent and connects with who you're trying to connect with. So I think it's beautiful, and her eyes are so bright, and she's holding that microphone very confidently. It's part of her. Yeah, and I love it.
And she's a feisty little girl. So she's a true representation of Raise Confident Kids. So, and also, I wanted to cover. Yeah, I wanted real people. On my book, I wanted real people. It's about real people. So I wanted to have real people on this book. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Well, thank you for sharing, and what a gift to all of us to get to meet your grandchildren in this way and get to share that with you. I think that's really special. So any quick tip that you could give any parents out there that they're leaning into this idea of being a parent coach, and they're thinking, you're right, we're dealing with Zoom, all these things. Is there a quick tip that you can share with us today that they may be able to put into play?
Well, my first tip would be that this is something I stress that every parent believes in, is that behind every confident child who believes in themselves is a parent coach who believes in them first. So you have to believe in your kids. That's very important. That's tip number one. Tip number two is don't compare them. You know, we spend the first few years talking about how we're all unique, and all our preschool programs have programs about you're special, you're unique. And then as soon as they hit formal schools, we start comparing them to other kids and our relatives. And why can't you be like that? Why didn't you get 100%? Why didn't you get this? Why can't you do this? Why do we start comparing? Let every child develop at their own pace. Remember, they have their own little inner genius within themselves, and it's our role. It's our role as a parent coach, as an educator first, to awaken that inner genius in the child. And that's very important. So parents, while you're at home, I know it's going to be very hard. You're confined in the rooms with your kids, and kids get antsy and they start, they can be annoying, of course. We all know that. But that's okay. You have to not compare them with their siblings or anybody else. Let them be themselves. Build their confidence. And also let them make a few little mistakes here and there, because that's how they're going to learn. So don't be so overprotective that you cannot allow them to make their own decisions. Let them make the little small steps, and those steps will become bigger and better and stronger. And believe in them. Believe in your kids. So important. And if you can invest in that microphone, the best Thanksgiving, Christmas gift you can get your child is get a little karaoke with a microphone and have a little presentation every evening. And that could be just, hey, tell me how your day was, or what did you learn from school? You are already conducting a public speaking class in your own house. You don't need to go anywhere else.
Beautiful. Well, I think I love it. No, beautiful. So not only a quick, great gift idea, which I love, but also a wonderful way to build confidence and start learning those skills, because there are so many adults that we have in our seminars and different things that we have done, and that event is the first time they've held a microphone, or they have been concerned about voicing their truth because they haven't done it before. They haven't had it where people would tune and listen in that way. So I love that you are helping children start to have those skills, have it not being a barrier, but an opportunity to connect and lean into that. And what an amazing way to connect and be able to support them by every day getting to practice the skills, and parents getting the opportunity to listen, to really tune in to what they're saying as you're building their confidence. Just beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want to give you a couple of minutes just to digest all the amazing wisdom and insights that Rennu has shared with us. And when we come back, we're going to let you know how you can go deeper and connect with her further. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
The Internet's #1 talk station. #1 talk station. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. You had an opportunity to take some notes and really think about maybe adding that to your gift list, getting the microphone karaoke set, or some of the important reminders that Rennu gave us and powerful insight and information. And I wanted to make sure that we gave you an opportunity to know how to connect with Rennu and go deeper. I always want you to be able to have access to our amazing authors and experts that can support you on your journey. So with that, Rennu, how can they connect with you? How can they go deeper?
So I have a website. It's www.missrennu, that's MISSRENNU.com. They can definitely reach out to me there. I also have my school website, geniuskidsonline.com. They can also learn about me from there. And this year I've also launched a public speaking virtual academy for those parents that feel they want the additional support and they want to do something different for their children rather than just sit on an iPad and play games or just learn. I have just launched in September. It's called winwithwords.online.org. And it has all these videos by demand as well as, live classes as well. And feel free for all ages, from ages 2 all the way through to 15. So feel free to take advantage of that. And, of course, the book is available on Amazon. So, yes, different ways.
Oh, I love it. And congratulations on launching that new academy. I love that. That's huge. So this year, so you brought a book forward, launched an academy. I love it.
I'd probably say COVID did a couple of good things. Gave me time to do a couple of things, but that's it. I want COVID to go away. I'm done now. COVID needs to go. I'm done with my book. I'm done with my academy. It needs to go away so I can resume a normal life.
Understood. but congratulations. I think that's wonderful. You were able to bring so much forward. That's so powerful. And can you give us the official title of your book one more time for anyone that missed it so they can be looking for it on Amazon?
Yes, of course. It's Raise Confident Children, Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Leaders by Rennu Dhillon. And Rennu is spelled with 2 N's, Rennu. Rennu Dhillon.
Perfect. And that's available in a couple of different formats on Amazon. So I encourage everyone to lean in and get a copy in whatever your favorite format is so that you can enjoy that and use that information. And then I'm curious if you have a tip that you can share any of our authors that have been sitting with a book and it's someday they want to perhaps bring a book forward. Is there a tip, a piece of advice, something that you can share with them to help them on their journey?
Yes, don't procrastinate. I did. Don't procrastinate. Just do it and do it now. So right after this show, pick up the phone and call Rebecca. You want to, I always think it's so important. And I'm glad I did the same thing. I actually procrastinated a few days. Even after the first book we did, I waited. I'm like, should I not? I think it's so important that this is, don't procrastinate. Don't leave things to tomorrow. Get it done today. And that experience of, the book. And don't get too wrapped up in, is it going to be a bestseller? Is it going to be number 1, number 2? It doesn't matter. The fact is, share all the information you have. Make it available for other people. Make a difference in the lives of other person. Even if you think even one person reads your book and they get something out of it, you've done something really good. So I would say, and the best way to do it is, I wouldn't have done it without you again, Rebecca. And no, Rebecca did not tell me to say this. I'm saying this by myself. If I were to do 5 books, 10 books, they're going to be through you, Rebecca, because you really give very good insight. Because initially what I thought my cover was going to be, and after your guidance, what it ended up being, 2 different things. Also, the tips you gave me of, I wrote my book, but you came back with so many different ideas of how to structure my chapters, the other things I could do with it were very, very useful. And I don't think I could have done that without you. And of course, your whole marketing plan was superb. So.
Well, thank you, Rennu. I'm deeply honored, and I appreciate that. And it's just been an honor and a privilege to work with you. And I'm excited for all that we can bring forward and share with the world. And any listeners out there, I'm always happy to have a conversation. So if I can support in any way, if you have questions, if you want to know what are different options out there, how does it work, I'm always happy to share and support you on your journey, so you can find the best way to bring your book forward. You can always set up a time to talk with me at meetwithrebecca.com. Again, that's meetwithrebecca.com. And I'll be happy to have a conversation and see how we can help move your book forward and bring it into people's hands, hearts, and really impact them with all that you have to give and share with the world. And Rennu, speaking of giving and sharing with the world, I know you were able to bring so much forward in 2020. I'm curious if there are any things, as we're looking ahead at 2021, are there things that you are looking at bringing forward, things that you're working on in the background that we can be watching for or looking for?
Well, I do write a lot of blogs. So I'm working on making a goal to write more, be more routine on that, because I kind of write it only when I have a good mood and try to make it a habit. But I've written hundreds and hundreds of poems, simple poems that help develop children's vocabulary and memory, and also around science. So I'm thinking of, I'm compiling all my favorite poems together. I'm thinking of launching, my next book with you will be a book on poetry, still tied to public speaking, but now the parents can use those poems and ideas of craft to be able to create a little presentation session in their home to develop public speaking. So that's really the next venture.
Okay, beautiful. I love it. Very fun. Yeah. And I was just thinking back, because this year, 2020, was so interesting. And I know you had, you brought so much forward that you shared with, but you also had an opportunity to be part of a music video. I don't know if you wanted to take a moment and share that. I think it's a fun thing that you got to do as well. Do you mind sharing with our listeners?
I haven't checked. I haven't checked how many views. I think we're at 65 or 75 million views now, but he's a very well-known singer in the community, and I expect overall globally in the world. His name is Dhillon. And, it just happened, I guess me turning gray turned out to be a real benefit. I got a call from a friend who was on his production team who said that he had seen the color of my hair on an Instagram and wanted to see if this auntie, called me an auntie, which I don't appreciate, but that's okay. If this auntie would like to be in his music video. And I jumped on the opportunity because he's my grandkid's favorite singer. They forever listen to his music. And I got an opportunity, and in actual fact, it turned out to be a little solo. And after meeting with me, first he was going to make me his grandma, and then after taking a look at me, he says, actually, you don't look like my grandma. So I ended up playing a role of his mom, which has now turned out to be one of the most popular parts in the video. And it's been wonderful. Just the experience of doing that little role was just really good. And to be featured in something that's now, I think, 75 million viewers right now. And it's just, in actual fact, I think he just got some awards from his album worldwide. So that was a really experience that I would have never imagined. Last year, he performed here in Oakland, I think it was the Oracle Arena, and I took my granddaughter. And, I never imagined watching him on stage that I would actually have a chance to be his mom. And the amazing thing is, last year, the photographer captured my granddaughter and myself in a picture. I was holding her up in my arms while he was performing. And that got featured in a video last year. And then this year, I get featured in his video. And the best part, Rebecca, is every time my grandson plays the video, as soon as I come on, he starts jumping and goes, "It's Grandma!" So he knows my scene really well.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But that was a great experience to do. Yeah. So don't let age stop anyone from doing anything.
I love that, and leaning into those opportunities and all the places that it can lead, and having fun with it. And congratulations on all that. And I believe that segment was was nominated for an award, or that the solo segment you were part of.
Yeah. It's his album winning numerous awards. Yes. So it's called the song's called "Born to Shine." And you can find it on YouTube, Born to Shine by Diljit Dosanjh. And you'll see, I play the mommy at the end that brings a girl of my choice for him to marry. So I'm the bossy mommy I'm the controlling parent that comes at the end of the music video.
But you carried great respect. They had great respect for you. Oh, so fun. Well, thank you for sharing that fun moment with us. I appreciate that. Listeners, I hope you're leaning into checking that video out as well as getting to know Rennu on a deeper level. She's amazing. I'm excited about all that you're doing, launching, and bringing forward. We look forward to hopefully having you back on the show again. That would be fabulous. Yeah. And thank you for joining us, Rennu. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for helping me through this journey of getting one of my wish lists done, which was to launch my own book. Thank you so much.
Oh, my honor and privilege. And listeners, I want to thank you for leaning into the author's journey. I hope that this today has made you smile, uplifted your spirits, and also given you some great wisdom and tips about being a parent coach, really looking for those opportunities to raise confidence and resilience in others, as well as an author, ways that you can bring your book forward so that you can share the wisdom, gifts, and powerful information that you have that can support and help another. To your great success as an author, may your journey be fruitful and successful and bring forward all you're called to bring forward. And we will look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall-Greider for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.